The city of Sioux City has reached a settlement with the Iowa Department of Natural Resources after the state sued the city for allegedly falsifying test results and discharging polluted water from the city's wastewater treatment plant. Tonight, the city council had a vote to agree to that settlement and agree to pay the money. KTIV's Connor Trett was at that meeting and joins us in studio. Connor?
Yeah, Matt, the city council tonight approved payment of a settlement with the state of Iowa in the amount of $300,000. Now, in 2022, the Iowa Department of Natural Resources filed a lawsuit against the city for manipulating test results and discharging polluted water into the Missouri River between March 2012 and June 2015. This issue came to light in 2015 when someone at the wastewater treatment plant, later found out to be a manager at the plant, alerted the Iowa Department of Natural Resources that the plant was only treating wastewater sufficiently for E. coli on days when the staff sampled it for state-mandated testing. Iowa's Attorney General at the time, Tom Miller, in 2022 said, quote, "The city potentially endangered human lives and wildlife by violating water quality rules and perpetuating a fraud to conceal its employees' actions," end quote.
And the fine could have been much more substantial, and you know, I'm thankful that it wasn't. It's better to spend money on plant improvements than it is give it to the state. So I think they were fair and reasonable, and we need to be fair and reasonable too and get it done.
Now, initially, the city faced a $6 million penalty, and here's a full breakdown of what all the city now has to do as dictated in that settlement. On top of that $300,000 fine, the city also has to meet a compliance schedule set forth by the state. The city has agreed to complete their wastewater treatment plant UV disinfection project by the end of this year. The city also has to complete its wastewater treatment plant's digestion and high-strength waste project by the end of 2027. The city must also complete the Bacon Creek trunk sewer channel repair by the end of 2030. There is also a timeline for the city's overhaul of the wastewater treatment plant. The city must finish phase 1 of the city's wastewater treatment plant's facility plan by the end of 2032 and phase 2 of that plan by the end of 2036. Now, according to the settlement's paperwork, for every day that the city goes over those deadlines, they face a $5,000 fine per day.